this freaking bow in my hair. You can literally use anything in your hair. Literally anything. This is my dog's bow tie that he wears around his neck for fancy dress things. That's what that is. And I'll put it in my hair because it's adorable. But anywho, if I knew I was going to put that in, I would have made my eyeshadow blue today. Because now it actually just looks ridiculous. So today we have another story time. Holy crap. The response I got on my previous story time was absolutely breathtaking. Thank you guys for enjoying my story time, and this makes me quite excited to start more story times. So I'm going to be uploading story times more consistently, and you guys will see more of me just sitting and speaking to you guys about stuff that you don't really care about, because apparently that's what you guys want. So today's story time is about the time that I got freaking spiked when I was 16 by a friend of a family friend. When I was 16 years old, I made contact with a person that is well known in my family. And I started visiting them more often. It was a married couple and they were adults and they had children too. So it was more like a family thing, but yeah. So what happened is I went there often. Now my family didn't want me to go there very often because of past things that happened. But I'm not giving any names or anything. I'm just gonna call the people, let's give them some names. Let's get them creativity balls rolling up in my mind and think. Let's call the man Bob. My husband is sitting here laughing at me. Let's call the woman Tina. So I was visiting Bob and Tina when I was 16 years old. My parents didn't want me to go already, but I still went because I had my own mindset and I did whatever I want because I was a horrible teenager. And I never trusted my parents. Blessings. But I went there and they were like, okay, so on Saturday evening we are going to a party with some of our friends. We went, it was in the middle of winter time. I can't remember exactly what the dates were, but it was 2010 and it was in the winter time. No, it was 2011 and it was in the winter time. And I was 16, almost 17. So obviously I was a teenager and if I could drink, I would drink. But that day I was honestly not really feeling the drink thing. And we went to these friends and it was a barbecue and everyone was just chilling and having fun and all the adults were drinking their wine and beer and there was rugby on. It was a huge game. I don't even remember what it was. But it was a huge game and everyone was just like watching the rugby and chilling and having a good time. Okay, so Bob has a friend that works with him. Let's call him Tom. And Tom has his wife there. Let's call her Gina. So Tom and Gina I've never met in my life before. But they were there and Gina started communicating with me a lot. She was talking to me, asking me what I want to do with my future, asking me who I am, whose child I am, who I'm there with. A lot of freaky questions. This is when I should have obviously already noticed that something was strange with these people. But Gina kept taking me to Tom, her husband, telling him all about me, giving him all of this information about me. I was just like, I was 16 and stupid. I didn't really realize. I just wanted to please everyone and I was just there. So this Gina woman eventually started asking me about dreams and what your dreams mean and things like that, like dream psychology. And I was very into dream psychology back then, so I wanted to help her with this and give her answers and give her replies. So what I did is I would answer, if I wasn't sure, I would Google it and answer her, and we just had like a typical conversation. And all of a sudden this chick takes me behind a truck and she's like, "Oh, you should have some of this wine." That she has in her hand. White wine, like from the box. So she's like, "You should have some of this wine." And I'm like, no, it's fine. I have my own drinks here. Don't worry. She's like, "No, man, don't worry about it. We can share. We're all friends. Yeah, you can have some of my wine." And she was already a little bit drunk though, and giving her husband a lot of crap already. So she was upset and she was sitting there, and I felt really sorry for this woman, and she was crying to me. Telling me how horrible her husband is, how horrible she is, and how she wish she could change and be a better person. And I'm like sitting there feeling so sorry for this woman, this 40-year-old woman who I have never met in my life before, ever. So I'm like, okay, you want me to drink some wine? I'll drink some wine with you. So she not even just gives me the glass, she literally like puts the glass up to my mouth and pours it down my throat. She didn't give me a chance to grab the glass myself, and she's just like, "Oh, there you go." So I don't know how I didn't realize what was going on. And I had probably like, I think 4 sips of white wine. Now, just note that when I was that age, I was not supposed to be, but I was a heavy drinker. I was drinking with friends behind my parents' back, drinking drinking and doing things I was not supposed to be doing. So I could handle my drinks, and this woman gave me 4 sips of white wine, and we stood up there immediately afterwards. She walked back with me to where everyone was sitting and chatting, and she sat down, and I stood there and I was like, I think I need something to eat. I wasn't even tipsy. I was wasted. Within a matter of a few minutes, I was wasted. Now I thought, okay, well, this stuff that she gave me was like really strong, obviously, because I mean, I had like 4 sips of this. And I was like, okay, I need to just go sit down for a sec because I haven't eaten much the whole day. And I sat down and I had a few things to eat. Now everyone was just minding their own business. They didn't really notice me stumbling over my own feet. And eventually Tina, the people I was visiting, comes to me and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I said to her, "Well, I don't feel very well." This was probably 10 minutes after this happened, after I had the drink. So she takes me to the bathroom, very nice, holds up my hair, I vomit most of my body weight. I sit on the floor, barely even able to move, and she takes me to the living room where all the men are watching rugby. So now Tom and Bobby's there. Bob was obviously very worried about me because, I mean, I was visiting them and he's not a bad person at all. And he was constantly asking me, "Are you okay? Just lie on the couch, just chill." But they got so loud because they were screaming for the rugby. And I sit up straight and I say to Tina, I just want to go rest. I need to sleep. So she takes me to the people whose house it is, bedroom, and well, one of the kids' bedroom, and I lie in there. So I'm lying in this bed and I barely even touch that pillow, and I'm out cold, like dead weight. Dead. Okay, so every now and then I wake up and I want to vomit, but I cannot for the life of me get up and go to the bathroom to vomit. So I just roll over and vomit into the kid's shoe. The vomit was so much, it like literally ran over the shoes, but I vomited in this kid's shoe. And then I would fall back asleep, sleep forever, and then just roll over and try to vomit. And in my mind, I was like, well, this is all going in the shoe. Like, I'm not gonna care. It's just in his shoe. He'll just get a big surprise when he tries to put on his shoe. And then I would go back, continue the whole time. And eventually people came in to check on me. So this woman, Gina, who gave me the wine, snuck into this bedroom and asked me if I was fine and what she can do to help. And she feels so bad for me feeling so sick, and should she take me to the hospital and blah 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 blah. She will take me. Please, I mustn't tell Bob that she's taking me to the hospital because she's really worried about me, and she's worried about what he's gonna do when he finds out, and blah blah blah. So I was like, no, you are not taking me to the hospital. Please go call Tina. I want Tina. So eventually, after her fighting with me for a while, Tina walks in. And Tina's like, what the hell's going on here? And this Gina chick is just like, oh, nothing, I was just checking on her. And then Tina said, did you do this? And then Gina was like, I didn't mean to, I just gave her a few sips. I thought she needed it, and blah, 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 blah. So this woman has the audacity to tell Tina that I asked her for it because I was having a bad day. I was having a bad day. No, she was having a bad day. She was crying. She was being a little dramatic, and I was trying to be the sweet 16-year-old girl trying to help her, and she forced alcohol down my throat that was spiked with something. I don't know what yet, but I was spiked with something. Bob and Tina says we need to go home. I remember when they switched on the light, the whole entire floor was filled with vomit, like covered in vomit, and the kid's shoe could barely even be seen anymore. I went home with Bob and Tina. They tried to get me to eat. I refused to eat because I was feeling gross and haha. And they stopped at McDonald's and I refused to eat. I actually got out while they were in the McDonald's drive-thru, got out of the car, went into the field to go puke some more, and then got back into the car. And then they tried to take me to a garage to get me to eat some pies. I refused to eat that. Once again, got out at the garage, went into the field, vomited, and got back into the car. And then we went home. They tried to get me to eat stew at home, but I didn't, and I kept going to the bathroom to vomit and going back. So, their children, their two boys, already didn't like me much, and I didn't like them much. So I was already getting like stares from them and them judging me hard AF. But that's fine. So now we're at home and I sleep dead the whole night with a bucket next to me, just vomiting the whole time, feeling horrible, like literally feeling like I want to kill myself. I was feeling so sick, and I don't wish that feeling upon anyone. It's probably the worst feeling in the world. So obviously the next day I was still pretty sick, like really sick, and now I'm supposed to go home. But my mom can't know about this, and so Bob is keeping me there at his house, trying to get me to feel better, keep bringing me sugar, like chocolates and sweets and cream soda and all of that jazz to try and make me feel better, but none of this was working. None of it was working. And more than anything, I didn't want to eat anything. So now it's like day 2 and I haven't eaten anything and I'm vomiting up a storm, feeling sick as hell. Eventually they were like, do you need to go to the hospital? And I was like, no, you don't understand. Not only will my mother never let me come back here again, but I will be dead. My mom will kill me. Now knowing that, okay, it wasn't my fault and it wasn't Bob's fault or Tina's fault, but we wouldn't have been in trouble and my mom would understand, but still at that age you don't really think. But so I just remember Bob phoning this friend of him, Tom, like yelling at him, saying words that I am not going to repeat, telling him how bad he is for what his wife has done to me. I actually felt bad for him because I don't even know if he was in on this or not. It seemed pretty much that he was not very in on this thing, but I do not know. But this Gina Tiki with her long freaking black hair was all up in my business last night, and I'm so convinced that that chick tried to kidnap me that night. So convinced. So, eventually the next evening, after Bob spent a bunch of stories to my parents, I started feeling a little bit better. He just said to my mom that I got the flu and I wasn't feeling very well, because I was able to walk by now and drink water by now. I still was not able to eat solids. But I just went home, straight to bed, and slept the rest of the day. The next morning was school. My mother did not let me stay home unless it looked like I was dying, and apparently to her it didn't seem like I was dying much that day, because I had to go to school. So I don't know what would have happened if I would have gone to that woman to the hospital and not told Bob about it. But that is my story about how I was spiked at 16. So that's one of the stories that I will probably never forget in my life. And one of the many stories I'm going to tell you guys about alcohol. Why do you all think I don't drink that much anymore? Because of stuff like this happening to me when I was a child. So my mommy's going to watch this video probably and be like, I did not know that. And I'm probably going to be in trouble, but I don't care. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye!